Hello everyone and welcome back to Final Fantasy VIII once again as we go storming through the final dungeon here in the way of Ultimecia Castle, and we've just defeated a boss here in the portrait room at the end of the previous episode. So before we go any further, make sure that one of your characters has meltdown magic, or if you've unlocked the Guardian Force ability, then make sure that you have Doom Train equipped on one of your characters. You're going to need that for the next boss. I mean, it's not essential, but for the tactic we're going to be using at taking him out, it shall be. And when you're ready, you just need to head north here. And there's some secret stairs here, which you can't really see easily, but we can use those to head down into the basement area. It's all very good, isn't it? And we can actually go down further here, so we're going to do so. And we're in a kind of dungeon area. Looks like you wouldn't want to be trapped here for too long. So make sure you're fully equipped. And then we're going to grab this prison key here. And somebody's not going to be best pleased with us about that. It's this friendly looking fella here, the Red Giant. Now, this guy has 30,000 hit points. And there's two tactics because he has a very, very high defense stat. You can either draw gravity from him, or Demi, and use that to reduce his hit points. Or you can cast Vitality 0 on him, as I am going to do here with Meltdown Magic. And once we've done this, then he should be easy to defeat. You can either do it... What? Let's try that again. This should work, I don't know why he's complaining. There we go. And now we should be able to do good damage to him. So just persevere. Once he's lost his sword, he'll basically want to punch you. Selphie has auto protect on, which reduces the damage of that significantly. And to be honest, once you've lowered his defences, he's a pretty easy fight in all honesty. Just remember that if you can't do so for whatever reason, if you don't have Meltdown Magic or you can't access Doom Train, since we haven't unlocked the Guardian Force ability yet anyway, then the other tactic is to draw cast Demi on him to vastly remove his hit points. The diamond armour is your reward for killing this guy. And next we're going to release the Guardian Force ability. To be honest, once you've done this, you can pretty much, you know, do whatever you want in terms of what abilities to unlock afterwards. Once you've killed that guy, we're going to head back up to this area with all the water. And we've got a choice here. We can either unlock this rightmost door because we did get the key, the armoury key, on our way to fighting Tiamat earlier on. But we're just going to save that for the time being and just do things in the correct order. And if we head up here, we can make our way to the green light. We're actually going to take care of the party switching feature now because there's a couple of things that we need to do with the different parties. So you're going to have to bear in mind that you're going to have a party with one female character. Well, maybe you've got, one female character because Squall is essential, and a party with two female characters. So we're going to call one party, for example the party that I'm currently using as my main party, as the male party, because it has the two males. And then the other party, with, in my case, Irvine, Quistis and Rinoa, is going to be the female party. Because of how we're going to have to organise this next set of puzzle type things, if you like. It's not really a puzzle, but it's just how we activate the next areas. we need to get our female party over to the elevator area. So if this is your female party that you just fought the red giant with, it's not in my case, but if it is, then simply run over to the left here from this light, and then go above the stairs, and then you can ride the right hand elevator down in order to board the left hand one. But that's not the path we're going to be taking, of course, because that's not our party. So we're going to switch to the other party here. And we just need to sort our junctions out quickly so that we don't get one shot. All you have to do to switch your junctions is just go to the switch option in the menu, and then you can quickly transfer junctions across from your first 3 characters to your other 3. So we're going to head back up to the top section here and make our way through this left hand door. And then we're just going to follow this path round, which is quite linear, and work our way down the path here. And we get into this spooky hallway, which we're just going to run straight down. And then we can see there's another green light. So we're going to use this to, again, switch back to our other party. Back in control of our original party, we're going to head into this passageway from the left-hand door here. There's a draw point with Cura if you need that. And there's a save point there if you've unlocked the ability. And we can see our party are waiting for us on the bottom of the left-hand elevator. So we're going to head over with our other team here. And we should be able to get this to move. To be honest, I had a massive issue in that the elevator wouldn't go down. Despite all the research I've just done, and I've read all over the internet, that it should be fine if you have 2 girls in the party that's on the bottom floor. Because the way it works is that you're supposed to be able to have the heavier party up on top here, and that'll make these platforms move and swap places. And 2 girls is all you need. So I'm going to try now with 3 girls and 3 boys. So all the girls in one party, all the boys in another, and hopefully this will work. And there we go, it's done it now. So for the time being, I'm just going to be having Irvine instead of Selfie in this group. Maybe it only works with some of the girl combinations. I don't know, to be honest. It's pretty peculiar. But there we have it anyway. And I'm just going to switch junctions with Squall so that we have encounter none in this party now. And we're going to head over to the left-hand room here. And we've come here basically. There's a Cura Guard draw point if you need that. But for this key, the Floodgate Key, which is what we needed. And now the plan is to get both parties back to the entrance hall. So the way we need to do that is a little bit tricky. But if we just go to the other party and move them off the platform, then that should bring both parties into the same room. And then it's just a case really of taking control of each one as we move them back to the original starting location. So we actually only need to do one, in all honesty. I'll show you why. If I just give Squall encounter none back here, and we're just going to run all the way back to the start. No thank you. So we've got a few keys now, so we can unlock a few doors in the sewer room, which we will be getting to, I assure you. We're just not there quite yet. Right, if you don't want to take both parties back manually, instead of using the green thing there, just head out here, and then both your parties will reset at the starting location anyway. One thing you can do now as well is actually save your game, which is pretty useful. So we'll go ahead and do that. We're going to go and throw a tent on at this point as well. You don't need to heal as long as you're using encounter none while doing all that party switching back there, because there'll be no fights in between. And now we're going to head back through the main door to the north here. The one where we have the giant chandelier room. We've still got some more party switching to do, so I was a bit preemptive in that tent, but not to worry. Just wait till we get control back. There we go. If you head just over here by the green light, then there's a lever, which you don't have to push any buttons, I don't think, but it does come up with this message saying that it's been depressed. So once we've done that, we're once again going to switch to the other party. And this is the party that's going to be entering into battle. So we are going to want to go ahead now and switch all our junctions. And what you want to try and do is raise your spirit as high as possible at this point. And also make sure that you have the Guardian Force, the GF command ability available. So we'll just check that here. We'll get rid of draw, since I'm not going to be needing that anytime soon. Although if you have any Guardian Forces missing from your arsenal, make sure you keep draw on as well. The next boss also gives you a draw, so I believe it's Carbuncle. Just make sure you have that available. And we're going to be using summons as well. So I'm very quickly just going to level boost on Eden here before we continue. So with our party, we're going to head through this door to the chandelier room, but this time we're actually going to just move across it to the other side. Pretty interesting, eh? And as soon as we head through this door here, we're going to be greeted by the next boss. So make sure your spirit is high. And this guy, which is some kind of weird crystal thing, isn't it? Is highly resistant to physical attacks. It is vulnerable to gravity. And it does have some nasty abilities like Ultima. If you don't have Carbuncle, make sure you draw it. Otherwise, just hit it with your strongest magics and Guardian Force attacks, i.e. Eden. Along with whatever else you want to use. I guess we could go for Cactuar, because that does fix damage. Now, Eden, you want to max out his Boost Gorge. Eternal Breath has a huge cast time, and it should give you enough time to max his boost out to 250. So just be careful not to reset it down to 75. Like that. I was just showing you what not to do. So at low level, my Eden's about level 30 at the moment. At a max boost of 250, you can expect around 15,000 points of damage. But obviously that's not going to be the case on this go here. But you can see, even though I messed up, I've still got it quite high because of that long cast time. If I can get it to 200, that would be awesome. Even though I messed up, I almost pretty much got it to max. In fact, I did get it to max. Look at that. Bang on. Now just a bit of patience while this cast finishes. A high level Eden, with all the summon plus abilities, is going to be doing close to 16,000 points of damage. Yeah, that's awesome. Some of these Guardian Forces might not survive this attack. In fact, I think this is its final attack now, so I'm pretty sure we've done this battle now, it's over with. Down he goes, into the dust. You get the elemental guard, which is really nice for defeating this fella. And I'm going to go and unlock the command ability now. And now we're going to start making our way back to the entrance hall with this party. In fact, we're going to bring both parties back, so I'll go out to save my game, since that will draw both parties back for us. I've just sorted my party members out back to the team that I like to use. And in order to prepare for the next boss fight, which we're heading for now, you want to guard in your elemental defense against earth magic. And for status defense, you want to guard against berserk if possible, curse, silence and slow. So as much of that as you can guard against, or the better, of course. And it's probably a good idea to make sure that you can cast zombie on the next boss, because a good way of killing him is not to use physical attacks, but to hit him with abilities such as revive, or item healing abilities like potions, or whatever the case may be, X potion. So once you're ready, head down with your party here, and we're going to use our first key on this lever. If I can just find the right angle, there we go. That's the Floodgate Key that we collected with our other party earlier on. Try that again. Make sure you actually use the lever once you've used the Floodgate Key. That will drain the water out. And then you can use your key here. I already did so. But you can use your key here, your armory key, to unlock this door. And as we head through, that will bring us to the next boss. So this is a two-stage fight. We first of all just need to basically attack until we kill this guy and his appendages. Pretty straightforward. And now second phase begins. If you do not have the Cerberus Guardian Force, you will want to draw him at this point. But try not to use physical attacks because that results in counters. So first thing we're going to do is cast zombie on this fella. And now hit him with revive. You can also use recover if you don't have revive for whatever reason. As you can see, he didn't enjoy that all that much, but that's the best tactic to take this guy out. And I do recommend you do it this way because he hits you with so much status ailment stuff and it is hard to defend against all of it. That you just want to take him out sooner rather than later, in all honesty. You could also alternatively status junction death to your status attack, but that's got a low hit chance, and since he likes to counter physical attacks, it can actually cause more problems than it solves trying to kill him that way. But you get some good items for killing him. And we get to unlock a new ability here. It doesn't really matter what. I'll just go for save. So, that's the next boss defeated there. for now we're going to exit this area and head up to the elevator room. If you remember, that was the place where we had to get the weights correct in order to get it moving earlier on. Now we should just be able to go down easily because there's nobody on the other side. And here we get to use the treasure vault key and have to solve a small puzzle. So the trick here is to get the boxes here, you can see there's a few of them, all to be open at once. And opening or closing one of these boxes toggles the boxes right to the side of it. And if you think you mess up or anything, then you can just leave the area and re-enter it and then reset it. But here's the solution if you want to know it. So pause if you want to try and figure it out yourself. And then here we go. So we're going to go to box 2, box 3, box 1, box 4. And who's this fella? A nice red and silver behemoth. So, you can very quickly junction your characters. You'll probably want to guard against lightning and equip earth magic or water magic to your elemental attack. So I'll just do that quickly. And then we'll be able to take this guy out, I should think, without too much trouble. Hello. So this guy's a behemoth. Fortunately, might be a bit of a surprise, his physical defences are basically trash. And if he's vulnerable to a bunch of status ailments, particularly darkness and slow. He does, of course, like to cast Meteor, as you would expect from a behemoth creature. And if you don't have Alexander for whatever reason, make sure you draw it from this guy before you kill him. So this will be his final Meteor cast. And that should be the end of the battle then. As long as you can survive this, then you're laughing, really. I probably should have healed Squall perhaps before we entered this fight. But nah, not a problem. Not a problem for our strong team. Down he goes. And now Resurrection. Secret draw point there if you want to get some holy magic. I knew it was around here somewhere. Now we've got a little bit of a tricky puzzle coming up. It's not really a puzzle, but it's something that we have to do in order to proceed to get another item. So we're going to head over to the courtyard area. You could also just run across the chandelier if you want to do so. Thought we'd come a different way for once. And we'll go into the next room here, which is the chapel. And we can head over to the organ. And what we need to do is first of all press the interact button to start, and then we have to press all the buttons that have been mapped together at the same time until the sound stops. Okay, it's a bit of a tricky thing to do. If you're playing on an emulator, you can map all your buttons to one key, and obviously that trivialises it. But it's a bit of an annoying puzzle, so it's probably going to take me a few goes, and hopefully it'll work then. Okay, so here we go. See what happens. As I said, it's a little bit tricky. Now, once you think you've got that correct, it won't actually tell you, sadly, if you have or not. But you need to head back then to the courtyard area. And we're going to head down this path here. And I'm thinking that we haven't done it correctly. Because we need to pass through that doorway, I think. We'll just see what's down here. Maybe we have done it. No, we have done it. That's it, we can get the Rosetta Stone. Okay, what it is, I thought there's bars, you see, that are going to block your way if you haven't done it correctly, and I was thinking it was those bars there. But it's not, it's the bars to actually enter into this place here. So because there was no bars there, we managed to do it. So it's actually easier than I thought. Just hit the 4 buttons on your controller, and then exit out of the organ, and then if you come here, you should see that it is actually done. Now, that's the best piece of treasure that we can get from Ultimecia's castle. The Rosetta Stone is the item that gives one of your guardian forces the ability ×4. So you definitely want to get one of those on every character. And I have been showing you the easiest Rosetta Stones to get. Bahamut already has the ability ×4 as default anyway. And then there's a door here. Is it here? Or let's just head through here a sec. Okay, so we just want to do that because now we've unlocked that door, so it just gives us a nice shortcut to the other side of the castle here. And now we're going to head back to the chapel area. Well, in fact, guys, because we've already killed Tiamat, we killed him early on if you remember, we don't need to head back there now in order to do that boss because we've already done him. So we actually have all the mini-bosses now defeated, which means we're ready, at least in terms of the dungeon, to make our way to the final area. How exciting. However, we actually want to be prepared for that, and there's lots of stuff we can do beforehand. So we're going to basically go and do loads of optional stuff before we head back into Ultimecia Castle and do the final bosses. The first thing we're going to need to do is get the Ragnarok back, which isn't as simple as it sounds. We can't just head outside and climb aboard. So at the start of the next episode, I'm going to show you how to do that. But for now, I'm going to finish off and say thanks for joining me, guys. I hope this episode's been helpful to you. As always, if it has, don't forget to hit that like button. It's taken quite a bit of planning, actually, to get this episode out to you. Make sure that the path that we took was the correct one. And I know we had a couple of hiccups on the way in terms of the party members that we had available to us, not accessing the elevator and whatnot. But we did get there in the end, and hopefully, you know, that will help you guys as well anyway. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time as we continue on making our final preparations in Final Fantasy VIII.